Hi, it's like 20,000 years ago, way before we were born, and agriculture is a thing. People like to grow rice and gather nuts, said the Chan people who lived there. After a while, civilization was created. Some guy named Lok Tuk said, not having a state is so yesterday, and decided to become leader of the new Hong Bang dynasty. Then they were introduced to new, in-style bronze things, like tools and weapons, to help them hunt and fish better. There's a new kid on the block. It's Thuk Fan, and he became the king of the Viet people from the north, and some people from the Hong Bang dynasty decided to join too, and they created a union. Then they said, it's time for the Hong Bang dynasty to end, and they conquered the dynasty. Then, a former Qin general wanted to make his own kingdom called Nanyu, and he did, and conquered all Viet. I'm sensing a common theme here. Hi, don't mind me, said the Chinese as they started invading Nanyu. The emperor was in denial, so he still wanted to be emperor, but they allowed the OGs from the Hong Bang dynasty to rule some of the area. Then, as always, religion happened, and everyone was hot on Taoism and Confucianism. Well, not really, but the Chinese kind of really forced it onto them. Then, two Vietnamese sisters kind of got tired of the whole Chinese domination thing and decided to start a rebellion. The Truong Sisters Rebellion. After someone killed her husband. The rebellion started out well, and the Truong Sisters and their forces captured 65 Vietnamese states until the Hans finally said, we need to intervene, and the rebellion was suppressed. The Truong Sisters were so scared that the Chinese would come and capture them and do terrible things to them, so they decided to jump into a river and never come back. After that, the Chinese would do even more domination than they did in the previous domination to teach the Vietnamese a lesson. Meanwhile, remember the Chams? Down south, the Cham kingdom is all happy and independent from China. Back up north, oh wait, look, Vietnam is independent from China. Oh wait, never mind, it got conquered again. And also they raided the Chams. On the bright side of things, the Chams really seem to have control of the spice trade in Asia. Their culture is thriving, and the economy is booming. Science, military, music. Oh wait, I know what time it is. It's the Champa Golden Age. China is getting more and more politically fragmented, and Vietnam gradually became more and more autonomous, and boom! After rebellions against the Chinese and Vietnamese nationalism happening, Vietnam is independent, for real this time. Yay! Then they made a monarchy called the Kingdom of Dai Viet, and then all of the normal monarchical things happened. Wars of succession, after the king said, I'm king now, but then died just 5 years later, and then a civil war happened, and then the 12 warlords fought. Only one came out victorious, and it was this guy's clan, and he founded the Dinh dynasty, and they became very strict to prevent this from happening again. Surprise! It happened again. The emperor and his oldest son were assassinated by this government official, leaving only his 6-year-old son to succeed the throne. That's a great idea, said China. You quickly do that while I swiftly invade your country, okay? No. How about we trick you into invading? Here, while I ambush your army and kill your commander, said the commander of armed forces, who succeeded the throne instead. And that's what happened. They also said, let's make Buddhism a state religion, because everyone else is doing it. Also, I'm getting kinda tired of this boring old Champalava script. Let's start using the Chinese script. Hi. It's me again, said a new and improved China under the Ming dynasty as they turned Vietnam into a province again. I'm really tired of China controlling us, said Vietnam. And then they made Vietnam great again. Also, they finally conquered the Champa kingdom, aka #1 enemy, and expanded some more. Glad that's finally out of the way, said the emperor at the time. Also, it's the Portuguese. They want to spread this new thing called Christianity, and everyone seems to be okay with it. For now. By the way, a civil war is happening. The people are divided by north and by south. Spoiler alert, this will probably happen again, just not with dynasties. Finally, with support from the Dutch and the Tay Son Rebellion, all friends who hated and overthrew the Nguyen dynasty. Just kidding, not friends anymore, said the Tay Son Rebellion, as they overthrew the Trinh dynasty. Oh hi, it's the Nguyen's again, and they're here for revenge. And the French decided to help out, and together they created Dai Nam. After the Nguyen victory, everyone seemed to be all happy, until Dai Nam started oppressing the Catholics, becoming an isolationist state. This upset most of the Catholic world, but most importantly France, who felt betrayed after they helped them in the Civil War. France was so upset that they launched a full-scale invasion on Dai Nam and decided to make it a colony of theirs. Then, the French slowly but surely incorporated it into France. They appointed their emperor at the time to be not emperor, and then they changed their script from Chinese to Latin. Wait, Japan just invaded French Indochina because the world is at war in World War II. I really want Vietnam to be independent, said Ho Chi Minh to France and Japan. They were able to kick the Japanese back to Japan, but France kept French Indochina as their own. Then Vietnam finally won independence from France in the Indo-Chinese War, and finally kicked out the French, but decided to keep their script, because why not? Now, let's split Vietnam into two countries, north being socialist and south being capitalist, because we don't want the other side to gain too much influence on the globe, said the USA and the USSR at the same time. Then North Vietnam said, there's only one room for Vietnam in Vietnam, and annexed the capital of the South while humiliating the USA's ego with guerrilla warfare. Meanwhile, the Khmer Rouge was repeatedly raiding Vietnam, and in revenge, Vietnam decided to invade Kampuchea and end the Khmer Rouge. In revenge for Vietnam's Vietnam's revenge against the Khmer Rouge supported by China. China invaded Vietnam, but Vietnam showed them who's boss and repelled their invasion. But China can also be winner just for the sake of it. This then led Vietnam to side with the Soviet Union in the Sino-Soviet split. This made China very angry. Vietnam then realized that maybe some aspects of capitalism aren't totally bad and tried to become friends with the USA. Also, I wonder who the Spratly Islands really belong to, said China with no intent to claim the whole thing. The end. For now.